As you look out of the window onto the chilly and quiet view, with a warm cup of tea in hand, you can't help but appreciate the simple joy of a hot beverage on a cold winter's day. But what if I told you there's a dish that goes beyond the familiar comfort of your favorite drink? Imagine a meal that not only warms your body, but also wraps you in a blanket of coziness, taking you straight to the heart of its origin, the majestic Carpathian Mountains. We will talk about the shopping list, ingredient preparation, cooking time, and we will show you a truly special way to serve it. Let's enjoy this journey together. Here we are. We've got everything that we needed for the recipe today. Let me show you what I did get. Got a lot of parsley, onion, green onion, brown onion, the cat, pepper, 3 colors because I like it colorful, parsnip and carrot, chopped tomatoes. You can get whatever you want. You can get them from any supermarket. I just choose convenience. You can also use the fresh ones if you want. And same goes for the beans. I got the boiled ones because I don't need to boil them for hours. And also make sure that you do not use the ones that you eat for breakfast, British people. Get the ones that are in water because you're gonna have a lot of extra spices that you need to add. Tarragon, which is something that you need specifically for this recipe. Got some smoked ribs. These smoked ribs, you can find them in any like Polish, Romanian, Eastern European supermarket or shop. And some flour, or in this case a bit more flour because I want to have it for longer. I'm gonna use this to make some nice bread. For this dish, we will need to consider some things that you might already have in the pantry, and if you don't, get them from supermarkets or exclude them if you don't want to include them at all. For the bread, we need some olive oil, a tablespoon or 2. I'm gonna add this in the mixture. Some, I forgot how this is called.
Yeast.
Some yeast. This is the fresh version of the yeast, but you can also use the supermarket dry one. I think there's like a 7 grams one, which should be enough. We've got some pepper. In my case, it's white pepper, but you can use black pepper, whatever pepper you want. Some fenugreek seeds. This is a Romanian spice or herb, but I use it in loads of my recipes, so that's my specialty. Fenugreek seeds in everything. We've got the thyme, that you've seen me using this in my previous recipes, so go check that out if you want. I've got the salt, a tablespoon of salt. We've got the tarragon that we just talked about, and we also have the smoked paprika. To make this dish, it's gonna take about 30 minutes to make the actual stew, but it'll take a bit longer to make the bread. So let's start with preparing the bread. So while the bread is gonna rest for 30 minutes or an hour, we can then chop the vegetables and prepare everything for the stew. And when the stew is cooking, the bread is gonna bake as well. Okay, so let's start with making the bread first. With our bread now resting for 30 minutes to an hour, in our case, we've got a multi-cooker Bija foodie thingy, so that's gonna prove the bread for us. What I like to do is actually prepare all my ingredients and make sure I have everything ready for when I need to go to the hub to actually prepare the dish, so I don't have to like spin around like crazy. So let's start doing that. So while we go in the kitchen, but before we start doing the actual soup, let's get the bread that we split in half and put it in the oven. So while this is baking, we're gonna also have the bread ready. I split it in half. That's mine because it's smaller. Turning the heating on, and we need to put a bit of olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever oil you have, in the pan. Not too much because we've got the pork that is still pork, so it's gonna be a bit fatty. Right. And let's drop the onion first. I like to fry this a little bit before I add all the other vegetables, because it gives it a nice and sweet taste. Fry it for a couple of minutes, then we can add everything else and all these spices as well. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but because the beans are already cooked, we're only gonna add them at the end after everything is boiled and ready to go. 5 minutes before, you'll have to add the beans. I need to sear it for 2 minutes, so it's gonna be probably a bit boring to watch. After 1 minute or so, add the rest of them. I'll just drop everything in here. And we will continue to sear them for a little bit so they can get the color. At this point, you can also add salt, thyme, fenugreek seeds, pepper, and thyme. Drop it all in there. Mix, mix, mix. This already smells spectacular. Don't forget the most important one. After a few more minutes, add all the meat, or as much meat as you want. I'm gonna add all of it because we like it. And cover everything with water, just enough to cover all the pieces of meat. Don't forget to add this. And mix, mix, mix. And now it's ready to boil. As promised, this dish is going to be served in a unique way. So this is the unique way. That's the bread. One of the breads. And what we're gonna do is cut the top of the bread and scoop all the inside of the bread out. And you'll see why. Okay. If it's too hot, use like a spoon or something. If not, just use your hands and scoop it out. We left it stay for a little bit, so it's fine. Try to scoop it as much as possible, but do not break it. And I'll tell you in a second why you shouldn't break it. You shouldn't break it because this is our little ball. Okay? With the rest of the bread, I'll cut it in tiny pieces if I can. And we're gonna use this to, how do you call that?
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna use this to like dip into the soup and eat even more of it. Hey! Okay, we've got the bread ready. We need to plate it. So let's move on and plate it. Put it on the plate. Oh, see, it already looks amazing. It already looks amazing. Okay. Oops. Just be careful because this is really hot and you don't want this on your hands. They say that the ultimate test to check if your food is tasty is to give it to the people that you love and they'll judge it. But I believe that actually, if you taste it yourself, you're the best judge. So let's see. As I was saying, keep the bread. Oh my god. Oh my god. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Try it. You need to try it. And this is another Romanian thing. You do this, you subscribe, and you save, and you share it with your friends, and see you next time.